Welcome back to Personal Best Radio. I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Groh, and today we are speaking with New York Times best-selling author Susan Piver. We're speaking today about her latest book, How Not to Be Afraid of Your Own Life. Now, Susan, in the middle portion of your book, you have great information on three issues: gentleness, delight, and confidence. Could you talk about that?
Yes. Gentleness in this sense meaning primarily gentle with yourself, which meditation practice cultivates through allowing you to sort of examine and release each thought as it arises. And you start to see that your emotions come and go, your thoughts come and go. You don't have to be quite so judgmental in every moment with yourself, which generates a sense of gentleness. And when you are gentle with yourself, in other words, you take yourself seriously, but you don't believe everything you think necessarily, don't get carried away with it, you are able to see that other people are experiencing the same thing. And because you're not afraid that you're going to hate yourself or be embarrassed too much about yourself, you can take delight in other people instead of being kind of defensive towards them at first. So then when you have this gentleness towards yourself and find other people a delight, whether or not you like them, in the sense that you can be curious about them, which itself is delightful, then
Sure.
What's not to be confident about? Gentleness and delight in others. You can walk into any situation and not be afraid you're going to end up feeling horrible about yourself or others. No matter what happens, then you are confident.
So, I believe most people have a yearning, a deep-seated desire to accomplish a certain something in their life. But most people, I think sadly, set these feelings aside for various reasons. No doubt fear being, one common reason. Does your book address helping individuals discover their life purpose, or is it more for those who know what they want, know what it is they should be doing, and here's how to go for it?
That's a really interesting question. I would say that neither of those things, knowing what you want or not knowing what you want, are helpful thoughts. Certainly it's better to know, I'm a writer, as opposed to a police officer.
Right.
Whatever your mission is or your passion, knowing yourself is critical. I'm not saying otherwise. But in either case, there's a kind of relaxing with the present moment and allowing that moment to have impact on who you think you are and what you think you want. That is really important. Otherwise, life becomes kind of formulaic, and you stop seeing certain things that don't fit your view, or you become very full of grasping. I need an identity that is appropriate for my life, my stage, my family, whatever it is. And instead of discovering who you are and then allowing that to inform your experience moment to moment, which is the way to discover your authentic path. But too much predetermination or self-doubt hinders. So it's a long-winded way of saying, in either case, I think a regular meditative practice can help those who are searching for meaning and those who are standing right in the middle of meaning in their life.
Excellent. That makes good sense. It is well that, having set a foundation for a reason to be meditative, in the final quarter of your book, readers are given a 7-day meditation program. Though there isn't time to go into great detail about the program, to give people an idea how thought processes can change for them in just 7 days, could you please highlight the intended outcomes of each day?
Yes. Each day has a name, and I'm going to find my little list because I can't remember each one off the top of my head, sadly, at this point. But the purpose is to, say you read a book about meditation or being a nice person or whatever it is, and you think, I want that. So what? That book goes back on the shelf or your idea gets buried in everyday life, and how do you do it? So I wanted to provide a way for people to try these things. Are they actually helpful or not?
Right.
Everybody has to figure it out for themselves. This is not a religion. So I gave people 7 days of things to try to see if they think actually meditation has a good effect on them, and contemplation. So the first day is the day of slowing down, which is you spend the day trying to slow down. I think that's pretty self-explanatory.
Sure.
And the second day is the day of self-remembering through journal. Each day has meditation, but through journaling and other activities, you remember who you really are, which we forget in the stream of everyday life, certainly.
Right.
And then there's other days, the day of intention, the day of friendliness, the day of letting go, and etc. And each day has practices and contemplations that fit right into everyday life. The first day is pretty intensive away from your everyday life, but then every other day is just things you weave in naturally. They take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and you can see for yourself if these are really good ideas or not.
Individuals can decide for themselves what might work best for them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All right. In one section of your book, you state that meditation practice creates a new way of viewing oneself and life, and it will also change the way others see you. Now, what is it about meditation that can create such noticeable changes?
That's a great question, too. When you have sort of cultivated an inner knowing, an inner life, an awareness of your thoughts and feelings and who you are, the outcome is authenticity. You can be who you really are because you see who you really are and what you're really thinking from moment to moment, and you can express yourself or not in a genuine way. And I hope that doesn't sound unclear, but we all know when we're with someone who is authentic, who is passionate about living. And that changes when you agree to allow that in yourself. Your life changes. I can't even begin to describe how much and how quickly. It just changes. The life rises up to meet you with what you most desire and
Right.
most fear, and allows you the opportunity to relate with both of those things. So that's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
And then other people see you differently. They can't mess with you, in a sense. They can't help convince you that you are better or worse than you know you are. And that's heavy. That's powerful.
So it sounds
That's
like,
self-knowing.
thank you. So it sounds like what is happening really is people are starting through this, they're able to learn to follow their own, their own messages, their own life, and not act or live in a prescripted way. And that's what people see different. They're not living the mainstream life, but living their own life.
That is so perfectly said, Aaron. That is perfectly said. Yes, I think that's what has such powerful impact, is when you can feel that you're with someone who is deeply seated within themselves. It's potent, and it encourages others to be that way too. So it's a very good thing.
Okay. Now, most people, when they think meditation, they're thinking huge investment of time, which they don't have. But this isn't the case, is it?
No. Of course, the more the better. But
Right.
meditation, it's not length of time that counts as much as consistency. So in other words, 10 minutes a day, which everyone has, is better than an hour a week or, a half hour twice a week.
Sure.
10 minutes a day is really helpful. And, if you can build to 20 minutes or 30 minutes a day, that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Or on some days, if you can do longer, that's also great. But really, it's every day, touching in with yourself as much as you are able, at least 10 minutes, is what brings the benefit as opposed to a heavy-duty investment of time periodically.
I see. So it's really a daily, regular practice that would make more difference in the long run.
Yes.
Excellent. How Not to Be Afraid of Your Own Life is in bookstores now. Susan, thank you so much for spending time with us today.
Gimme, 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 gimme love. Gimme, 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 gimme,
gimme, gimme, gimme.